What's going on, everyone? So this LeBron thing just keeps getting better and better. So Dave McMenamin reached out to LeBron's camp and Rich Paul, right? Got Summer League. LeBron's there with his family, as well as Rich Paul and everybody. So makes sense that, hey, let's try to talk and get the scoop. So Dave McMenamin reported that he spoke to Rich Paul and, LeBron's camp, and that basically LeBron's camp is keeping an eye on the Lakers and the moves that they're trying to make to see if the moves are what is believed to lead to a potential title, right? That LeBron wants to compete, and based on the moves that the Lakers end up making, could dictate what LeBron does, right? So if LeBron does request a trade or anything like that, it'll probably be a month or so from now, right? It'll probably be closer to training camp than anytime soon. Now, that isn't really new information. That's not like, that's basically what we've known from the beginning. But he also relayed that the Lakers and LeBron James, that Rich Paul has not reached out to the Lakers, that LeBron and the Lakers have not talked about potentially working on a trade or LeBron wanting to leave and depart. So there's not been like a conversation, because that's kind of been a question, right? Like, okay, well, what do the Lakers want? What does LeBron want? Are they kind of like, hey, let's see how this goes and then work out a trade? There hasn't been any conversation in that regard based on what Dave McMenamin gathered, and then also relayed that 4 teams have reached out to Rich Paul, gauging kind of LeBron's thoughts on being traded. Now, didn't say those teams. I don't know if maybe he wasn't told those teams, right? It's very possible. Rich Paul was just kind of like, yeah, I've had a couple teams. I've had 4 teams at least reach out about potentially trading for the Lakers. But I think it's fair that we can kind of assume who those 4 teams are, right? It's probably the Warriors, the Cavs, the Knicks, and then the Mavericks, right? The 4 teams that have been mostly linked to the Lakers. They're also the 4 teams that could trade for LeBron and still compete and contend for an NBA championship. And they're probably the only teams that, 1, LeBron would be willing to go to, and 2, would make sense to make a push to go get LeBron. Right, the Knicks and the Cavs, they're trying to compete in a wide open Eastern Conference in which, if they got LeBron James, might walk to an NBA final, especially Cleveland. Cleveland, I think, they could trade enough in order to make that work and make that happen. The Knicks, same thing. They could, put an OG and a Mitchell Robinson type package together to maybe land a LeBron and still have, Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and all the things necessary to still compete in the Eastern Conference alongside LeBron James, still have a Karl Anthony Towns. Dallas, they could do, Gafford, give back Max Christie, give back a couple players and PJ Washington, right? Kind of give the Lakers a little bit of depth, land LeBron and kind of go the full 2020 Lakers, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. They just got Frank Vogel, they just got Phil Handy. They're putting together the 2020 Lakers, but the Golden State Warriors, there's talks about the Warriors potentially looking to maybe even offer a Jimmy Butler and go Jimmy Butler plus like a pick or 2, because they have all their picks between now and 2032, where they basically, hey, here's Jimmy Butler, right? His contract lines up with the 2027 route. So, it still gives the Lakers that flexibility. Steph and LeBron get to play together, and then Jimmy Butler gets to go to the Lakers. I did a whole video on that, so I don't want to get into that too much. But essentially that those two would basically be swapped, plus, Golden State would send out a first or 2 in order to make that happen. The other route could be, it's just tough, but they could do like a Pod, Moses Moody, depending on how much the Lakers are willing to go as far as like contract wise for a Jonathan Kuminga, right? Like maybe the Warriors, because they are working on signing trades for Jonathan Kuminga, right? But I'd imagine at most you're probably giving Kuminga maybe 25 million, right? You probably want to get it closer to 20 million. So you need to essentially clear another like 30 plus million. Even if you add Pod and Moses Moody, you'd still need to kind of clear a couple more. So it'd be hard, right? You'd have to work something out and kind of jump through some hoops, but you never know. Right? Maybe they make it work. Point is that I wouldn't expect, I don't believe LeBron is going anywhere. I don't think LeBron is leaving anywhere. However, it could be possible. Right? I don't think it's something that is so far-fetched that I'm comfortable saying it's not going to happen, but I think it's very unlikely. I would be more surprised if it happened than if it didn't, right? Or if it does, right? It's one of those things where, I believe LeBron, even history tells you LeBron's going to stay just because LeBron's always honored his contracts. Now he is getting older and he is getting up there, so it kind of begs the question of like, what is the Lakers and what does LeBron want? Like, does LeBron kind of look at it? But again, it also depends on what LeBron views or his camp views as contention. You just got the best center that you could possibly get. You're going to have a healthy, motivated, skinny Luka, right? He was recently at like some event or whatever and looked great. So it's like, what moves can the Lakers make? Like, let's say the Lakers go and get, an Andrew Wiggins and Matisse Thybulle, right? We might look at it as like, oh, we're here, baby, let's go, right? Lakers might look at it. Luka might even look at it that way. But if LeBron doesn't, and LeBron's camp doesn't, then he can still request a trade, which is one of the reasons why I really want the Lakers and LeBron to kind of talk and hash it out. Like, figure it out. Like, what do you want to do, LeBron? What moves do you think we can make that would satisfy you and keep you happy to stick around, right? And are those realistic? Because, look, the Lakers want to win regardless, right? Like, all the hold up, all the conversation is like, Lakers, are invested in the future. They still have to keep Luka, right? Like, it's not like the Lakers are like, okay, we're gonna spend the next 2 years kind of floating around and then try to build a contender. Luka could leave after this year, right? Like, no, Lakers still need to go all in regardless. It's just they want to maintain flexibility for when LeBron leaves. Jovan Buha even recently talked about this and kind of went into depth on it and said, essentially that the 2027 thing is all overblown. Right? Lakers want to keep flexibility because this year or next year could be the last years of LeBron. So they don't want LeBron to leave and retire, and then now they're stuck and have to kind of figure out and navigate, and now you're wasting Luka years, right? So they still want to win, which is why they're going after guys like Andrew Wiggins and so on and so forth, right? You wouldn't be trying to trade for an Andrew Wiggins unless you were trying to win right now. You'd be looking for younger guys, or you'd be adding younger guys. So I just think that this whole situation, again, I think it's all overblown, right? Maybe LeBron gets traded. Maybe he doesn't. We will see. I do like that Dave McMillan kind of, just said like, hey, it seems like Rich Paul from what Dave McMillan said is like, nothing's going on. Like, we're just keeping an eye on things, right? Like, we just want to make sure the Lakers are trying to win, right? Like, if the Lakers go and do a bunch of stuff that it sets up for the future, then we might look elsewhere, right? But it doesn't, like, the media, Ramona Shelburne and Windhorse and all these other people are like, LeBron's leaving. This is it. Lakers want to get off of LeBron. LeBron and the Lakers are, and Rich Paul's like, no one's talking about anything. No one's doing anything, right? There hasn't been any conversation or dialogue about LeBron leaving or anything like that. It's as simple as, hey, we just want to kind of keep an eye on things and see how things play out, right? I think that's all it is. I just think LeBron's doing what he does every year, using leverage to ensure that the Lakers or whatever organization he's on is doing what they're supposed to be doing. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Else not, if you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.